Ukraine sees surge in foreign volunteers amidst U.S. policy changes. Ukraine has recently witnessed a significant influx of foreign volunteers joining its defense forces following notable shifts in American foreign policy. Across the globe, thousands of individuals, including many military veterans, have felt compelled by frustration and a sense of moral responsibility to take direct action. They have traveled to Ukraine, determined to stand against Russian aggression and support Ukraine's fight for sovereignty. In recent weeks, the Trump administration has made controversial moves regarding Ukraine, including a temporary freeze on military aid and a halt in intelligence sharing agreements. Additionally, there has been growing uncertainty over future support. This shift has unsettled European allies, raising concerns about regional stability. Reports have surfaced suggesting that Trump may be reconsidering the U.S.'s commitment to NATO, potentially refusing to defend member states that fail to meet defense spending targets. These political changes have prompted individuals from around the world to take matters into their own hands. Driven by a sense of solidarity and moral duty, many have traveled to Ukraine to bolster its defenses against Russian advances. This surge of support reflects a broader international rejection of what is perceived as a U.S. retreat from Ukraine. Foreign volunteer groups have played a vital role in strengthening Ukraine's defense. The International Legion, established early in the war to integrate foreign fighters into the Ukrainian military, has drawn volunteers from diverse backgrounds. Legionnaires have taken part in key military operations, including the 2022 Kharkiv counteroffensive, the intense battles for Bakhmut and Chasiv Yar, and the ongoing defense of Kreminna Forest. One of Ukraine's most recognized units, the Azov Brigade, originally formed as a volunteer militia, has also integrated foreign fighters. Many now serve as instructors or are actively engaged in frontline combat. Recently, the Azov Brigade announced plans to create an international battalion, receiving a flood of applications following a high-profile meeting between Trump and Zelensky. A source involved in recruitment, speaking anonymously due to unit protocols, confirmed that thousands of applications were submitted shortly after the meeting. The 3RD Separate Assault Brigade remains active in some of the most intense combat zones, including Avdiivka, where it has inflicted heavy losses on Russian forces. The brigade is currently forming 2 international battalions, with one set to recruit exclusively from Spanish and Portuguese-speaking nations. Among the volunteers are several high-profile figures, including athletes, politicians, and influential personalities. A particularly notable example is the cousin of U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance, who has served as a volunteer fighter in Ukraine for nearly 3 years. He has been vocal in criticizing the current U.S. administration's stance, highlighting what he sees as a betrayal of both democratic values and international obligations. Foreign volunteers have contributed beyond the battlefield as well. Experienced NATO-trained military veterans have been instrumental in training Ukrainian forces, ensuring that Western-supplied weaponry is used effectively. Their expertise in modern combat tactics and equipment maintenance has significantly improved Ukraine's operational capabilities. Additionally, logistics and supply chains have been strengthened by volunteer efforts. Volunteers have coordinated the delivery of both military and humanitarian aid to frontline troops. Medical professionals from abroad have provided critical support, treating combat-related injuries and addressing civilian healthcare needs. Meanwhile, engineers and tech specialists have helped develop advanced battlefield solutions, including 3D printed drone components and other innovative technologies. The morale and dedication of these volunteers have had a noticeable positive impact on Ukrainian forces, now in the 4th year of the conflict. Their commitment and expertise have bolstered the resilience of Ukrainian troops, reinforcing both their strategic capabilities and fighting spirit. At a time when American support appears increasingly uncertain, the direct involvement of international volunteers has become a crucial factor in sustaining Ukraine's defense. This grassroots mobilization helps compensate for potential gaps in official aid, reinforcing Ukraine's capacity to resist and endure in the face of continued Russian aggression. As the conflict stretches on, The resolve and sacrifice of these volunteers remain a key pillar of Ukraine's broader strategy for survival and eventual victory.